It's a damp October morning. Looks like it might even be cold outside. Cold by Florida standards. As recently as 4 days ago, I was hot and in a swimming pool. So fall has arrived. Of course, a hurricane's on the way also. So we need this cool fall air to start affecting the tropics or whatever, however weather works. I know it's all hopeless because of stuff. What a great way to start the morning, huh? I'm sorry, I have global warming on my mind, and I have extreme weather threats on my mind. I'm going to make tea, and I'm going to ease into my day. This is a scheduled stream. Ooh, my second scheduled stream. I'm doing it. I'm about to make tea, and I'm just gonna wake up slowly, and eventually I'll read a story. And I said I'm gonna stream for 4 hours, but I don't know if that's true. So good morning, and I'll be right back. I'm going to make myself some tea. The water's on. All my chairs are wet, so I'm getting a towel ready. So I've just woken up, and for a long time I've been aware of the need to have getting ready for bed, sort of bedtime, cool down, calm down rituals, and I haven't had wake up rituals for most of my life. It's hard for me to do things consecutively, repeatedly. I like to wear these headphones with a microphone on it. I'll just do a quick sound check. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Okay. Oh, that's right. I already chose the story I'm going to read. I live in a high rise building, and I picked up a New Yorker magazine on the free take me table, and immediately I just opened it up, and the first thing I opened it to was short fiction, and I thought I might read that tomorrow morning. And I haven't read it already. I don't know anything about it. um, in my stream yesterday, I discussed how my attitude towards what I'm doing is that I'm not performing. I'm spending time with you if you watch this. I'm sharing my life. So for me, I when I read something, I like it to be the first time for both of us, and I'll just read it. And but that's you know later in the hour. I don't know when it'll be, but in a little bit. First, I'll get my tea. I haven't woken up to the point of wanting food yet, but sometimes when I have it, I'll put milk in my tea, and that's a lot. That's food. I will have English breakfast or Irish breakfast. I'll try Irish breakfast. I think it's even stronger than English breakfast. I don't know much. Pure black tea, Irish breakfast. Experience the bold, rich taste of this hearty tea. Interesting instructions on the back of this Twinings tea bag. Brewing instructions: add freshly boiled water, steep 4 minutes or to desired strength. Do not microwave. But microwave is how I get my freshly boiled water. I don't put the tea bag in the microwave or the. Anyway. Oh well, I'm having tea that's not approved of. Last week, at this time, I had not yet received a treatment for my chronic pain that has given me uh, a lot of help. I don't want to deal with too many containers, so I'm going to put the milk in the mug and then the tea in the milk. I'm sure that's another way to do tea wrong. I grabbed your mug by mistake. You're my guest. So I don't know how much milk I'm going to want. I didn't want to have, I don't, ideally, I love having like a tray and blah, blah, blah. But I'll show you. I'm not very organized at the moment. And my tray is underneath a pile of stuff. But I just happened to think that adding the tea to the milk sort of works because I went ahead and put another splash in, so it's almost half a mug of milk. Because the way I make my tea in that 2 cup pitcher, um, the the first part, while it's the hottest, I'll want to cool down with the milk, and eventually I'll be fine drinking it black. Oh, I felt like I'm not going to say it's cold. I'll tell you the temperature shortly, but it's just the novelty of it. I decided to put on sweatpants, and I might even want to wear socks. It is 64 degrees Fahrenheit. I would guess, whoops, wow, I don't know how to do conversions. So if I think about it, I might figure out what that means in Celsius. I know that I like temperatures in the 20s. I would guess that this is maybe around 19. I base that on nothing. I looked at the wrong line on the screen and I was like, 11 viewers, that's my total followers. 11 viewers would be like a record. Um, okay. I'll show you my balcony. So that's my building, and I'm gonna sit there. And this is kind of a mess, but this is a citrus plant that's doing fine. It hasn't produced anything, but it's healthy. So one of these days, I don't know, maybe I need to fertilize it. I don't know much about gardening. This is all new to me. And oh, and then I can either stare at my city or I can stare, yeah, wherever. The tripod I use is one that my mom had for a small telescope, and lightweight, and I've been using it for a few years for videos. In my stream yesterday, I said that being creative means being open to trying new things, and that can be, well, it opens one up to inconsistency. And now I want this to be a nice view for you. I'm gonna have to collapse the legs. Oh, right. So like because I'm making decisions on the fly, you're getting a less consistent product than if I just always had my tripod set a certain way and always did the same thing. And you see what I'm saying? There, I think that's nicer for you to sit and see something. So half full with milk. Is this tea still hot? Yes, it is. I'll probably spill, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pour it to the top because there's so much milk in here. No sugar though. That's nice. Good morning. In case another neighbor wants to enjoy the morning on their balcony, I don't want to show balconies. I don't want to show the building. I want to show away from the building. I have never seen my neighbors don't come outside, but it's important to me. Be my guest. Yesterday, from noon to 3, I streamed a calm stream. I read a poem or two. I think I'm on the fence about whether to put on socks. It's my belief or my experience for me and my body that once my feet get cold, they don't get warm again very easily. So maybe that means I have poor circulation or I'm a 90-year-old. It doesn't really matter when the solution is so easy. There's a there's this bravado to Floridians that I'll start to see someone posting it any minute that like we don't wear socks, like they show like flip flops, like it doesn't matter what the weather is. And I think, I mean, if that works for you, Okay, but don't lump me into that. That's just foolishness. I mean, then those same people might be like, "Oh, it's so cold," and be like, "No, it isn't." People are stubborn. People are stuck in their ways. They probably always have their tripods at the right height, set up in the right place. They always know they're going to wear flip flops with no socks. They're consistent. I'm open to fine tuning, and I'm kind of open to that at every moment. And I do see downsides to that. Even as I'm talking about this, I am recovering from a tendency to cast everything as an extreme good or bad. Something is this or it's that, these binary ways of just everything that comes up. Um, and even as I say that, I don't know, probably for me to say everything that comes up is inaccurate. You get what I'm saying? Like it's really, I struggle. I want to. I try to. I aspire to have the presence of mind to say what I mean and not fall into past patterns. And again, I feel like that may be the essence of true creativity, being open. I don't only want to create art, I want to create my life consciously, not simply repeat patterns because I've done it before or it worked before or lots of times it didn't work before, but somehow I still keep doing it. Something that I thought worked before is yoga, but then I didn't keep doing it. Um, the pandemic arrived. I had just kind of started to do yoga, and I felt like it really helped. And a friend got me to go with her to a place, and I really liked it. And then the pandemic started, and to be honest, I'm one of those who I'm still not over the pandemic because we have not upgraded our air filtration, and we do not treat it as though it's a legitimate, an ongoing public health matter, even though it is. And we're not even giving the vaccines free for free anymore. So people like me can't get the current vaccine, and I certainly would. So the adoption rate of the current vaccine is going to be really low. And all that makes me quite angry, or at the very least, bitter and disappointed. Speaking of bitter, this tea is not as bitter as I thought it was, but I did put so much milk in it. When it comes to sugar and tea, it's like I can see, I know it's good, I've had it, I can understand that, but I don't know when to stop. If I don't put any sweetener in, I can adjust to that. But if I, but I kind of don't know the difference between tasting it a little bit and, turning it into a Dr. Pepper. That's probably a stupid thing to say. I had the same attitude about moving. This is the town that I grew up in. And if I could wave a wand and have like Spanish citizenship or anywhere in Europe, or um, I'm also fond of Chile and Mexico City. Uh, Costa Rica would be an adventure. Anyway, there are places I'd be willing to live besides the US, but that's not simple. But when it comes to just moving, people, I guess when you're in your 20s or early 30s, people ask, why don't you move? You don't like it there, or you got, you know, I have liberal big city views and whatnot. I would, what are my liberal big city views? First and foremost, um, I crave public transit and fewer chain stores and more like shops where the owners actually own it and work there. New York City used to be more like that in the 90s when I hung out there, and I'm sure it was even more like that in the 50s or whatever. But a lot of the recent developments in New York are kind of that rich homogenization. America, little guys are going out of business everywhere. But there was a time where when people, I guess it was the 90s, early 2000s, people had these ridiculous stereotypes of New York City, and that the little small towns of America are where things are real. And I remember saying at least to one person, if not everyone, that the small towns are where the super Walmarts are, and New York actually has blocks and streets that are like small towns used to be. But that's not really what they're objecting to. They don't care about the size of things or who owns a store. They don't like certain people and certain value. Well, that's it's funny. Yeah, most of my childhood in the 80s and 90s, and I guess the fucking Bush 2000s, the word values was seized upon by Republicans and the right as if it was their territory. But I have values. Like I have strong values, and I know what they are, and they're humanist. And I mean, I could enumerate. Uh, I respect art. I believe in self improvement. I believe in equal justice under the law. A lot of the values that I believe in are enshrined supposedly in our government, but I mean in our laws, but they're not followed because that's not what the right wing means when they say values. I mean, they shouldn't even use that word, but they were never challenged on it. Well, with that, because they just meant, okay, so like I'm gay, so um, being against gay marriage and being for a man and a woman traditional marriage is not a value. I mean, it's a prejudice. If I wanted to put it a nice way, I would say it's a long-standing custom and tradition, but that's not the same as a value. You have to be able to put it into wording that I think I make sense. I mean, they can't say these are all the rights that exist, but only for straight people or only for white people, or those aren't values. Those are customs. That's what the right wing cares about and talks about. The threat that they perceive to their customs that me and my kind do not respect and in fact hate. And yes, we do pass laws to overturn them when we can. But the thing is, all we want is to be for there to be equality, and they can go off and do their own thing and have their own beliefs, but they don't control us. But they have to control us. Our existence is a threat. It's all very weird. Of course, I'm biased, but I think what I'm saying makes perfect sense. Liberal people are the ones with values. Conservatives have fetishes, the past, mythos, all that stuff. Doing something because someone said so, believing in hierarchy, patriarchy. And you see it because they change their values on a dime all the time. Whatever fits them in the moment, that's what their values are. Okay, I didn't mean to get off on a political rant, but it's so easy to in 2024, in October 2024. That was pretty mild for a political rant. I was just talking about values. I won't be talking about more politics. I don't anticipate in this stream. The purpose of this stream is to teach myself how to wake up pleasantly. For certain periods of my life, when I had a schedule, I would wake up late and running late and run and be frenzied and unhappy, want to go back to bed. Most of my life, I've wanted to go back to bed when I woke up. Some rare moments of true happiness and relative lack of pain, I've woken up and wanted to get out of bed. Those are great. Oh, it's a shame that you're watching this. Whoever wrote that, I might have to switch the rules on chat back. I haven't studied the settings that are available for moderation. All commercial platforms encourage spam. They'll say that they don't, and they'll give you a bunch of different settings to fight with it. But like Gmail, my Gmail is replete with spam. I had to run away from it because commercials are spam. So anything, anything that's a money-making platform, they're in favor of allowing people to bother you. Why do I say that? Because I hang out on the Fediverse. I have an account on Mastodon, and we don't put up with it for 5 seconds. As soon as we see people we don't like, we can block, we can report, and they're gone. Anyway, another rant. I was so excited to have 2 viewers until. Can I remove the comment? I don't even want to look at it. Why am I bothered so much? I hate. I guess I'll just hide the chat, but then I won't get to Stream Manager. Oh boy. Still recording? I went into another window. I hate this app. No, I like this app. It's it's all ruined. It's turned me upside down. Oh, come on, go back to, this is what happened the last time. I'm just gonna stop and restart.